Hello guys, my name is Grimsavior. Welcome to my redstone tutorial world. Today we're going to do something special. You guys asked for it, you've been bugging me for months now, I've delayed it. Well, guess what? It's here. We've got ourselves a fully functional Raid Farm sorter that I'm actually happy with. There was a lot of issues and little things that were bugging me with some of the older versions. I've redesigned this about, I don't know, 12 times, maybe more. You could say I've been mildly obsessed with it, but it's here. We're going to do a tutorial on it, and let's talk about it. So the main purpose of this machine is to sort out iron gear from books and totems, as well as separate it from stackable drops. Now, obviously, no system is perfect, and unfortunately, we don't have dispensable armor stands in Bedrock. So you will need to dispense armor stands in order to make this work. You're going to want to situate this between your raid killing platform, your drop intake, and the drop spot for the stands. That way you can come up to your pretend raid platform, killing platform here with a trident killer, and put your armor stands down and get the raids happening and items sorting. When you're done, so we're going to simulate here with a couple of shulkers. As the raid goes on and everything, the gear will be dispensed onto the armor stands, and then the books and everything and the totems will fly in here. And then once all this gear is dispensed, we'll come back. We'll hit this little button here, and I'll show you guys what happens. Alright, so the gear is fully dispensed onto the armor stands. Obviously, you don't have to wait for this. When you're using your raid farm, you just put the stands up there and then you stay up there, have your fun, and then when you come back down, you hit this little button right here. And what's going to happen is all the gear is going to get shot off the armor stands, including the armor stands themselves. Then the arrows will stop firing, and it'll start a dropper clock here that will shut off the firing mechanism for the arrows. Now, the arrows that we're using are arrows that are coming from the raid farm itself. Now, I know what you're saying. There's a few pieces of gear sort of floating around. You know, it's not perfect. Nothing is, but this is a lot better than doing it yourself. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a hopper facing down, and then we're going to place a double chest like so. We're going to put a trapdoor on top of the hopper. Then we're going to get some temporary blocks going here, like that, and we're going to put, what we want is one hopper going out like this into another guy. And then we're going to change this one to go straight down, like that. Then we're going to take our chest and place it like this. So that's what you got there. Alright, next we are going to place a couple of dispensers. We just need to get some temporary stuff going on here. We're going to have one guy facing this way, and then one guy facing this way. This guy's gonna dispense the iron armor and the books and the totems. This guy's gonna be shooting arrows. Now we're gonna come along behind here, and we're gonna build a bit of a platform. And this circuit will dispense the iron gear onto the armor stand. So you want a repeater there, some redstone dust like this, and a comparator in subtract mode. And we're also going to take a hopper and put it on top of here. Now let's take some glass. We're going to put one block here, and one block under that dispenser right there. Next we're going to take a block and put it here. And we're going to have a comparator here, facing this way. Okay, next we're going to take a observer, and and place it facing this way. Then we're going to have block like this. Then we're going to take our torches, put one torch here and one torch there. Now we're going to grab our sticky pistons. We're going to put one facing up like this. We're going to take one sticky piston, put it on top of this torch. It's going to retract this hopper. And we're going to take another one and put it here. And that sticky piston will be pushing a glass block in the way to keep items from spilling out. Next, we're going to want to put a falling. We're going to want to put a torch here, and then we're going to take our solid block, put it here. Okay, well basically what's going to happen is if you drop this in here, there you go, that should happen there. So it's going to retract the hopper, push the solid block in there. Okay, now we're going to take our observer and we're going to face it this way. When an item goes in here, it's going to actuate the piston, make it come down, and start the clock to fire the arrows. Alright, then we're going to take a solid block, put it on top of our dispenser with a button on there, and that's going to be firing the first arrow to start the whole sequence. Then we're going to want to take some redstone dust and put it here, which is going to close this piston as you go there. So to build our pulse extender, we're going to come along like so. Put some blocks like that. This block on top needs to be glass. Very important. We're going to take our comparator. Okay, and then redstone dust over top like that. And you'll see it's going to carry the pulse for a little while and then fade away. Small correction too, although it'll still work either way. We can get rid of this block and the torch and put it under here. And then everything should still work properly. When an item's in there, it'll retract the dropper. See? There you go. Alright, now we want to start building the mechanism that's going to turn the arrows off after all the armor stands are shot out. So we're going to put a target block there. Then we can put a glass block here to seal this off. We're going to put a few more around here to sort of keep everything contained. Just keep stuff from going all over the place. We're going to come in here inside the chamber and put an upside down staircase. I can just get down there like this. Then we're going to take a torch, put it on top of our piston. Take a sticky piston. It's going to extend. Slime block. Redstone block. Okay, next we are going to put an upside down piston right there with a redstone torch. Then we're going to take an obsidian block, put it here. Not necessary, but it just, one less piston noise that you have to hear. Then we can take our solid blocks, and we're going to build a bit of a platform that looks sort of like this. We need another block on this side. Then we're going to take another torch, put it here. We're going to have redstone dust going like this. Then we need to take two hoppers, and we're going to face them into each other like this. Now we need a comparator. Comparator goes here. Dropped. Let's get another block right there with another comparator. Okay, now this clock we'll talk about later. You need to put a certain amount of items in here for how long you think you're going to AFK. Alright, next we're going to need a solid block here. We're going to take a piston and we're going to go like that. Let me grab my obsidian. I'm going to put it here. Actually, no, that's a mistake. This block needs to be able to power. So let's just flip that around. Here, let's go back. We're going to go like this. Block here. Torch here. And torch here. And this torch should be turned off. Now we need a little bit of room to work here for some item filters, so we're going to go this way, like that. And one for our arrows. And we're going to go like that, with the hoppers facing that way. Let's get another solid block up here. And we're going to put another hopper facing this way. That block was just temporary, by the way. Okay, and again, I'm going to go like this. And that should be sufficient. Now we're going to need to put a line of hoppers for however many items that you want to filter that are stackable. You're going to carry this on. All right, so you're going to come along here. You're going to face all the hoppers into each other. Right, and then you need to figure out where your drop point is for your items coming from the raid farm. Right, so we'll just pretend that it's here. It's approximate. And let's start building a few item filters. Now the main item filter that's important is the non-stackable item filter. For me personally, I believe that the one that Rogue Fox makes is probably the most efficient and most reliable. Right, so this is how you build that one. So you go like this, and then comparator on top. And we just need some redstone dust, like this. What's going to happen is everything's going to go through here except stuff like armor and weapons, books, and totems. And it's going to send them to our dispenser here. Okay, next you're going to want to build an item filter for the arrows that come out of the raid farm, because you're going to use them to shoot the armor stands. Right? Nothing goes to waste here. And also it'll make so many arrows, you could have a secondary filter up there to store them if you wanted to, or trash them, whatever floats your boat. So we take our comparator, put it up here, and then our redstone dust like this. Then we're going to take a repeater, put it here. We're going to steal a redstone torch from somewhere and just put it there. And that's that. I'll show you guys how to set up the filter. Alright, so to set the item filter for the arrows, you're going to take 4 items of your choice that are stackable. Here we're using subscribe redstone dust, and we're going to put the arrows in there, and this should filter down to 41, and the arrows will end up in here. And you know, quite a lot of arrows are going to be stored into these hoppers. Once it gets down to 41, the hopper locks, and it'll only take more in if more items come through. Alright, next we got to build our trash can circuit. So we're going to take a couple of hoppers, put them in like this, and then a dropper. Very important, it has to be a dropper, not a dispenser. Then we're going to take our observers and go like this, and like that. And then take a couple solid blocks, and then when anything goes through this chest, it should fire the items. Okay, and then if you want to dispose of the items in lava, you can take a couple of cauldrons and put lava buckets in them. Whoop. Alright. Let's try that again. You can take a couple of cauldrons. Oh, it's because I'm shift clicking. Alright, you can take a couple of lava buckets and put them in the cauldrons, and that will destroy the items. This is a bedrock only feature, and by the way, this will not work on Java. We're using a whole bunch of torch and piston inversion setups here, so you know, obviously that does not work on Java. The torches will pop off every time. Okay, so now we need to talk about this timer. So basically you're going to want to put as many items in here as you think it's going to take for the iron to process through your system. So what happens is the only way to get the arrows to stop firing is to build this circuit, and when the arrow hits this target block, it'll start this hopper timer here, which will turn on this torch and force this piston upwards, turning off the arrow firing circuit. Which will still be on because this torch will be off, if that makes sense to you. So basically you can adjust this as you go. You can put up to 5 stacks in there. So, you know, I'd say probably start with 3, and you know, that'll last almost 3 minutes, right? I think you get just about 5 minutes out of 5 stacks. Basically, if you AFK for so long that the iron doesn't have time to process and get sucked in here, by the time that the hopper clock is done going off, you know, and it reopens these gates, you need to add items in there basically to make it last longer. And if you AFK for so long that, you know, and you put like 200 armor stands in here, you're going to need a different setup. Basically, you know, I set this up for, you know, like you can AFK for maybe 2 hours max kind of thing. Next, you're going to want to figure out your drop spot for your stands. I'm using obsidian, but you can use whatever you want. Throw yourself off, and there you go. Don't do that in survival. That's a bad idea. You're going to be up way high. Now, if you want to add your item filters for your stackables, now's a good time. Basically, you just put some solid blocks across here and build your favorite item filter for everything that you want to keep. If you wanted to, you could build a trash can circuit over here for everything else that you don't want. Let's build down one more here. That. Now you can just go onto your favorite YouTuber's channel there to find the item filter that you like. I like myself to use the Tech Rock filter. So you want to go up like that, just like that. Basically, it's the same as our arrow filter there, right? Just like that. This guy here is glass. And out. Right. This block down here doesn't have to be glass. I just think it looks neat. And then we take our repeaters, torches, and our comparators. Whoops, some torches. Comparators, just like that. And dust. All the way across. Right, and then you set the filter in here for whatever you want to do, your witch drops and all that kind of stuff. Basically, we're done. Let's do a quick test, and just to make sure that it works, that I didn't make any mistakes. Alright, small edit here, guys. I forgot we need to have a terracotta block here, and then we can take our repeater and put it back on top of here, just like that. Alright, after our edit there with the terracotta block, let's place our armor stands. Alright, that should be enough for this test. And then we're going to take our shulkers loaded with goods. And you'll see the gear will get dispensed onto the stands, and the books and the totems and everything will fly into this chest. Just need to wait a second. And we'll hit our magic button and everything will take care of itself. Alright. That looks good. Let's hit the button. Armor stands get shot out. Iron gear goes down. Our hopper circuit is activated, which is forcing the clock stopped. And now we're basically all the garbage is going in the garbage. And the good stuff's in here. And we did it. So there you go, guys. That's my take on the Raid Farm sorter. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I worked really hard to design something that I think works as well as it can. The only way this could be made better is if they would let us have dispensable armor stands. Then we wouldn't need to place them at all. We could just make a circuit for that, and it would pull it in and out and, you know, get the gear off the stands that way type thing. But we can't have anything nice because we play on bedrock. So again, if you enjoyed this video, my name is Grim Savior, and I will see you on the next one.